Imagine being a young girl at the age of 15 and you have a secret to tell your parents before they find out. You have them sit down as you try to find the words. Mom, Dad, you say, I'm pregnant. They ask you a whole slew of questions about who and where and how it came to be. Then they ask, what are you going to do with the baby? The thought hadn't even crossed your mind. You can have the baby and keep it, or give it up for adoption, or you can have an abortion. After looking online for pregnancy resource centers, you find Planned Parenthood and see this organization does more than you thought they did. According to Planned Parenthood was founded by Margaret Sanger in 1916, where they first provided contraception for both men and women, and also help with family planning. In Sanger's America, women cannot vote, sign contracts, have bank accounts, or divorce abusive husbands. They cannot control the number of children they have or obtain information about birth control. As stated on Planned Parenthood's history's website, Margaret Sanger also founded the Birth Control Review, the first scientific journal devoted to contraception. In 1923, Sanger opened the Birth Control Clinic Research Bureau in Manhattan, where they provided contraception to women and collected statistics for safety and long-term effectiveness of contraception. In the same year, Margaret Sanger starts the American Birth Control League, which embraces the global issues of world population growth, disarmament, and world famine. Both organizations merge and later become Planned Parenthood Federation of America. Currently, Planned Parenthood does many different health care services, which are, but not all, abortion, birth control, body language, anemia testing, cholesterol testing, diabetes screening, physical exams, flu vaccines, help with quitting smoking, high blood pressure screening, tetanus vaccines, thyroid screening, sexual and reproductive health, men's sexual health, morning after pill, relationship counseling, sex and sexuality counseling, pregnancy progression, women's health and STD management. I was just astonished to learn that Planned Parenthood did so much because all I had ever heard about was that they did abortions. So that is all I thought that they did do. Doing my initial research, I told one of my nurses at my job what I was doing, and she said she went to Planned Parenthood after she broke her arm in an accident, and they set it and put a cast on it for practically free because she was poor and had no insurance at the time. In high school, my sister's best friend found out she was pregnant and went on to have an abortion at Planned Parenthood. I am against abortion, and I even offered to adopt her baby. I was so upset that she wouldn't even consider to adopt. After seeing a film called The Silent Scream, I'm especially against abortion. I believe it but not when life and death is involved. I believe only God has that decision, and we all cannot be God because there is only one God. According to Planned Parenthood's website, on May 9, 1960, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, approves the sale of oral pills for contraception. Within 5 years, 1 out of every 4 married women in America under the age of 45 has used a pill. I say the statistics have proven that the need for contraceptive devices does help people be healthy and not die from childbirth or dirty abortions. From Planned Parenthood's website, on January 22, 1973, the Supreme Court hands down its landmark decision in Roe v. Wade, recognizing the constitutional right to privacy and women's right to choose abortion. I'm glad for privacy and women's rights, but not for abortion. I believe abortion is murder of a human being, and the baby has a soul at the moment of conception. We don't have the right to end the life of a baby because it's an inconvenience to the mother. It's a little more understanding if the baby won't live long after birth, or there is a high chance the mother won't survive giving birth, but it still shouldn't be up to us to murder a baby. Lindsay Stevens states for Social Science and Medicine that the Centers for Disease Control, or CDC, encourages people to take individual responsibility across the lifespan. This would be nice, but a lot of people dive head first without thinking, and it's truly unrealistic for people to make a plan because life goals change over time. According to a Planned Parenthood brochure in 2011, Planned Parenthood launched Planned Parenthood Global, which reaches 1 million people in Africa and Latin America with health, education, and services. That is a lot of people that can be healthier, and they can help be informed on what they can do healthily with their bodies. Planned Parenthood's history states that the law forbids the procedure even if a woman's health is endangered, forbids doctors to recommend an abortion even if it's medically appropriate to protect the health of the woman, mandates prison terms and financial penalties for doctors who circumvent the law, and allows male partners or parents to sue the woman if she has the procedure. If a woman truly wants to murder the baby, then all parties involved should be in agreement and know exactly what will happen to the baby afterwards. Doctors have an oath not to kill anyone, and that should be especially in the case of abortion. On the Planned Parenthood history website, it states, according to a poll released May 6, 8 out of 10 women in America say that insurance companies should be required to cover birth control pills and other forms of contraception at low or no cost, just as they must for medical medications used for preventions. This would help out lower-income women and men. I don't believe the government should enforce companies to cover certain aspects they deem unethical, such as when the government charged Hobby Lobby a fee each day since they didn't cover abortion or birth control for their employees and their insurance. Our freedoms are at risk of being eliminated, especially conservative Christians at this present time. If you want certain items covered on your insurance, you should be able to get them, but don't expect a religious-centered company to cover the cost for you. According to the review of European studies, the Church's sentiment is that when God created the human soul, he clothed humans in godlikeness. Human life, therefore, has a sacred and inviolable quality. The Church urges people, therefore, to respect human life. The Bible states that we were created in God's image, so killing a baby is like killing a part of God. God doesn't want anyone to perish, and that saddens him when a life is taken. This mode of thought is, however, contingent upon the notion that if human life begins at conception, then abortion always involves the taking of human life, and it does. There is no way around it, and it's always murder, and it should be taken seriously for the consequences for the ones involved. From my personal interview with Elise Higgins, who is the Kansas Manager of Government Affairs for Planned Parenthood of Kansas and Mid-Missouri, I felt she seemed arrogant and not that knowledgeable of anything else. She was happy to answer my questions, but didn't give me much insight to the organization. When asked, what is it like to work for Planned Parenthood with all the negative light on the organization, she did state it's been challenging and she wouldn't work anywhere else. She believes Planned Parenthood is enhancing health and political rights and that they are doing something right. She does see Planned Parenthood becoming a more relevant political community force than they have been, along with providing more cares for others. And Planned Parenthood's media blitz, Escaveria, states that during the debate over the creation of the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, Planned Parenthood Federation of America and its pro-abortion allies are successful in demanding that contraception be fully covered by the act, including the so-called morning after pill. They also opposed any legislation or amendments that would allow employers religious exemptions. This part of the Affordable Care Act that got Hobby Lobby in trouble. As far as I know, Hobby Lobby is fighting against this because it takes away their constitutional rights, basically asking the government to dictate lives of everyone. Even after all this, we must also consider what Planned Parenthood, with all the fetal tissue they collect after an abortion. Some people tend to follow Planned Parenthood blindly and not see the future consequences there will be. From Does Abortion Take a Human Life? Thomas Aquinas answers, Schwartz states, in respect of his differentiation, Thomas Aquinas meant that abortion can be executed during the early stages of pregnancy. This is to be before human ensoulment, in other words, before the 20th week of pregnancy. Once thereafter, is abortion subject to criminalization and will its amount to murder? Who does this man think he is? How does he know when a baby receives their soul? Only God knows when a fetus obtains a soul. Abortion is still ending life and is still called murder, no matter what someone might call or define it. In the end, our young girl has weighed all her options and has chosen life for her baby, but to let someone who can give her baby the life she can't give to it right now.